Another thing we're going to do at Growth is get you to realise that not every customer is king. We're going to grade our customers in 4 different ways. We have our A grades. Now, A's are the best of the best. They never haggle on price. They always pay you on time, normally early. They send you referrals, they write you testimonials. They're an absolute joy. You're full of the joys of life when you finish talking to an A grade client. Then we have our B's. Now, our B's aren't as forthcoming with the referrals, but they're good, solid clients. They're good, solid clients. Then we have our C's. Now, our C's will invariably pay late, and they can become a little bit of a pain over time. And then we have our D's, the worst of the worst. They always haggle on price. They are your worst payers. They always throw in complaints to have to avoid paying one of their bills. They only ever want to talk to the boss. They go out of their way to badmouth your business to other people. And they will typically have you or your team in tears after a phone call. The worst of the worst. Now, I'm going to show you that every transaction you do with a D grade client is at a loss. And that's just the hard costs. Because remember, I'm going to factor in your time as well, because the only person they ever want to deal with is the boss. But what about the intangible costs of making your team feel the way they do, of giving you that sick feeling when you know you've got to talk to them? You don't need your D grade clients. You can sack them as clients. Now, if you sacked D grade clients or any clients, would your sales go down? Yes, they would. But what would happen to your profit? Well, in my best example, an 800% increase. But then that's just the hard cost. What about the intangibles again? What about that feeling of relief of never having to deal with these people? Again, there's ones that, as I said, leave a horrible feeling at the pit of your stomach before you have to call them. You deserve better than that, but you need to do something about it. Now, our C's can sometimes be upgraded. We can give them an email, just say, look, this is how we're going to do business from now on. If this is okay with you, brilliant. If not, here's a list of possible people that you may want to work with. Now, our B's and our A's. Here's what we're going to find. The 80-20 rule plays out. That 20% of our customers, in this instance A's and B's, are responsible for 80% of our business, either directly or indirectly through referrals. Now, let me ask you a question about this 20%. Do they get 80% of our time? No. Do they even get 20% of our time? No. These 20% of customers who are responsible for 80% of our business are lucky if they get 5% of our time, love, and attention. That can't be right. Because guess what we're spending all of our time on? Dealing with people that lose us money. How's that? That can't be right. Now, let me ask you a question. Those A's and B's, that 20%, you know, if you were to spend more time with them, is it possible, bearing in mind they already love you, is it possible that they would send you even more business? Yes, and you'd get more joy dealing with those people as well. By the way, imagine telling your team you've sacked a client because they swore at them or they made them cry. Imagine the goodwill that goes in your favour from your people as a result of that. By the way, best way of getting rid of D grade clients, keep putting your price up until they've gone. But A, B, C, D is something that we do with every client to ensure that we're working with the right kind of people.